Hi everyone, Laura Alexander coming to you still from Maine. I hope this finds you all safe and healthy. Today's session is going to be a shorter one. We're going to focus a lot on stretching and the use of the pelvic clock. So we're just going to get right to it. I think this is a nice series of movements for those of us who have starting to feel like we're really not using our muscles to the extent that we probably could, and starting to feel the effects of this whole self-isolating situation. I know for sure that I have indeed. I've been able to get out on a lot of walks and things like that, and perhaps you have too, but stretching is really, really important. And in Pilates, the goal is always to both strengthen and lengthen, always thinking about the spine and working from the center and just letting the rest of it sort of develop as we go along. So let's begin with a nice big morning stretch, I call it. You're going to turn, lay on your mat all the way down, and I want you to bring your arms up over your head and stretch the legs out nice and long. You can't see from here, but I am actually in the shape of the letter X. Bringing the arms a little apart, legs a little open, and on the inhale I'm going to point my feet, right, and open my fingers, stretching, 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 and then exhale to flex the feet and pull the wrists in, hands into fists. Open everything up again to point, and exhale. Give some thought to what happens through the muscles of the ribs, the muscles of the abdominals. You need to feel as if you're really stretching away, like the Incredibles in that movie. Very, very stretchy. And last breath here. Breathe in deeply through the nose. And as you exhale, sweep the arms to your sides and bend your knees. You can have the feet and knees a little apart or all the way together, but make sure you take a look up and your feet are in line with your hips and knees, toes pointing forward. And so we're going to do an exercise here called the pelvic clock. What I want you to do is visualize the front of you like a clock, the face of a clock. The upper abdominal region, just below the ribs, is called the 12 o'clock position. Down in the lowest abdominal area, just above the pubic bone, is the 6 o'clock position. And then, of course, according to your perception, there's 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock here. And so here's how the exercise works. Arms nice and relaxed. Take a big inhale in through the nose. And then on the exhale, knit the ribs together and contract at the 12 o'clock position. And for me, it sends me into a bit of a pelvic tilt. Inhale to release. And I'm going to have you jump to the 6 o'clock position. Exhale, and then breathe in, and let's go around the clock. So find 1 o'clock. It could be to the right or the left. It's up to you. Pull everything into that 1 o'clock position. Inhale. Exhale at 2. Hard to do. Find 3 o'clock here. Might cause you to hike the hip up a little bit and work laterally through the pelvis. That's okay. Inhale, release. Contract at 4. Inhale, find 5 o'clock. Low, low, low abs. Another pelvic tilt there. Inhale, find 6 o'clock again. Maybe pull that pubic bone forward, lift that tailbone up. Go ahead. Inhale to release all of that. And exhale at 7. And 8. Inhale, exhale at 9. And 10. $11. And 12. Good. From here, just a few pelvic tilts, maybe 2. Keep that low back warming up. And release completely. Let's do what we call a figure 4 stretch. a version of the pigeon stretch. I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee and press gently into this leg with my hand. Press away. I want to feel that lengthening in the side of my clock here. And then certainly feel about what goes on through that glute and hip here. And then lift that left foot up, pull the knee in, and interlace the hands around the back. This is a light grip with your hands here. And you're obviously wrapping around the hamstring here. So slowly inhale to point the foot and straighten that leg up. And what I'm doing, you may or may not be able to see, is kind of encouraging that lift of and lengthen of my hamstring here. Flex the foot and bend back down. Coming up again, and flex. And keep that foot up there, deeply point and flex. Try to get up into the back of the knee here. Maybe 5 of these, and let's keep that foot pointed, and it's going to be 8 circles at the ankle each way. Reversing. And then I'm going to leave that leg up. I'm going to uncross, and I'm going to turn this leg out and lower it down and let it rest heavy there. And I'm going to keep this leg up and turn this one out as well. And these are diagonal lower leg lifts. So I'm going to inhale to stretch out of my hip, lowering down. Keep that length, and exhale, scoop the abs, and resist the return. Breathe in and breathe out. This is a lot of abductor inner thigh work. We're doing 8. Try to keep that leg light in the hip socket. And then let's take a moment to center that leg, pull the knee in, and bring the leg across the body, and then pull it there with that hand, turn your head, and breathe. And then back to center, and now you're into position to do this all over again. So first, let's keep that foot down and press away here. And then lifting that foot up, interlacing the hands, and maybe you push this elbow into the side of the leg there. And from here, you're going to inhale, slowly point up, flex to come down. Breathe in deeply through the nose and exhale. And when you are up this next time, again, remember, encourage that lift on the hamstring here to point and flex, even through the lifting and lowering of that lower leg. Staying pointed in those 8 circles at the ankle each way. And reversing. And then lifting that leg up, and remember, turning it out and lowering it straight down. And here's the thing, if this gets into your back, this position at all, just bend this knee slightly. That's a modification, and it's easier on the low back. But if you can do this, you're going to outwardly rotate both legs and lower down, 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 stretch, scoop, find your pelvic clock. Those numbers translate into muscles, into abs. Last 2 coming up again. And 1. Center, bend the knee in, and let's pull it across, and then turn your head this way. And last breath here. And back to center, and let's roll on up into sitting. At this point, I'm going to spin around and face this direction. So the exercise is going to be roll up, but before we get there, we're going to take another stretch. You can sit in this position with your feet pointed and together or flexing together. And again, if the back is tight, what I want you to do is bring the legs apart just a bit. Or you can find a stack of books or something, a block of some sort, to sit up on, and that will also alleviate any tightness or help assist you and make you feel like you can get a little bit more out of this movement. So you're just going to bend forward with your legs are parted together and wrap the hands around the back of the ankles and pull. And then come on up into sitting. Let's go ahead and cross this foot, that would be the right one, over the left. At this point, I'm going to flex my left foot and pull the toes in towards my knee or my other leg. And sit up tall through the spine. And I'm going to turn away from you again and plant my right hand near my hip, this left elbow, on the other side of this knee. Turn my gaze as far as I can for 3 breaths. Last one coming up. And then we'll go back to center and we'll switch the other direction. So sitting up, lead with my gaze, right? And then back and sit, stretching here. So feet again can be pointed or flexed, legs together or apart. Bring the arms up. And then before we begin the actual roll-up exercise, it's going to be a shrugging of the shoulders. Lift those shoulder blades up and then exhale, just let them drop. Yep. Breathe in, lift, lift, lift. And out. Last one. And then stay here. Take an inhale and exhale to roll all the way down. Bring your arms up over your head. And then inhale to lift. Exhale through the sticky part, round, 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 and contract. Pull in on the center of your pelvic clock. Sorry, that was my furnace, you heard. And then inhale to come back. And exhale down. Again, you could bend the knees slightly as a modification here. 3 more. And last one. If you've got the ability, just grab your toes, pull them in, or grab the back of the legs, and just take some deep breaths here. Good. And now we're going to come into side stretches and saw. What I want to do here is have you sit, let's have you sit actually where we were, arms out to the side, and you're going to sit nice and tall. Again, prop yourself up on a box or anything that you might need to help alleviate the back. Before we bring the legs apart, let's keep them together and bring your arms back up over your head. I'm going to turn towards the camera for this one. And grab a wrist in your hand. So if I were to mirror you, I'm grabbing my right wrist in my left hand. And I'm going to inhale to just pull and lift and side bend. And exhale, come back to center. I'm not leaning back. And as I go, I'm pressing down through this hip and glute to the floor. Back to center here. One more. And then other way. Lift, lift, lift. And back. Total of 3. And last one. And then you can drop the arms out to the side, and the exercise is now saw. So, sitting here, arms nice and long out to the side. Let's inhale to twist to the left, and then twist the arms, relax the shoulders, and dive. Reach oppositionally, away from your shoulder blades. Inhale back up, and at this point, you kind of want to bring the shoulder blades together behind you. Gives you a nice stretch across the front. Go the other direction. Inhale, twist, and dive. And lift, twist, Use your breath, twist, find those muscles or numbers of the pelvic clock. And let's take it one more time each direction here. Up. And last one. Back up to center, and arms come down. Okay, so now we're going to go into a side plank exercise in mermaid. So you have the option in side plank always to prop yourself up on your hand or come down onto the elbow. Doesn't matter to you. If you do the elbow, make sure your hand is stretching out straight in line with the elbow and that the elbow is under the shoulder. Same with the hand. It's going to be under the shoulder. You're going to bring yourself up into this position, right? So it's a plank. I'm going to stagger my feet. And then make sure my hips are stacked as well, so they're not falling back at all, if you can see that at all. And then one arm stretches long, nice, away from the other, and my head stays on my spine, right? So just take a couple deep breaths here. Breathe in. And then we're going to sort of mermaid here. So lift that top hip and stretch, push into that down hand, and then exhale. Lower that hip, and if you want to rotate a little, you can look down, coming up, and back down, or you can just stay in a plank like so. One more here, breathe in, and down. Good, and then coming down, I'm going to go the other way with this. Same idea, bring me up into your position, I'm holding it here. Then really stretching the muscles of my arms, and then to this side extension and dropping. You can rotate if you like, but your hip does not touch the mat. Come up, 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 and back and down. One more here, and back and down. Good. Next exercise here, I don't know about you, I'm feeling pretty loosened up now, is an exercise that we call the kneeling sidekicks. All right, so you're going to bring yourself somewhere in the middle of the mat, make sure you've got room to sort of move, tilt, and kick. So I'm going to bring the hands together behind my head. I'm going to begin this to my left. So my feet, you'll see, hopefully, are in Pilates V, toes curled up behind me. And then I'm going to lift up through my hips and squeeze an imaginary ball here. And what that does is fires the adductor muscles and keeps things active there. So back to this position, hands behind the head. Bring this arm out, and you're going to side tilt over. So it would be your right, my left. And so this leg winds up in line with my hip. Head on spine again. Inhale to swing that leg forward and flex the foot to bring it back. If this exercise is new to you or you find it super challenging, make it a small movement, forward and back. But the goal is not to throw your upper body around here in an effort to get into big side kicks. Forward. Abdominals tight. 2 more here. And 1. And then when you've got that leg extended, point the foot and extend this arm away. Nice long line from that foot through to this hand. Stretching, stretching, stretching. And let's go ahead and bend, reach back, do this carefully and slowly, and grab the foot, keep it in line with your knee, and press away from your body. And then extend back to a knee, hand behind the head, and you're going to push yourself up into the center with control. Make sure you're lifting and squeezing again. And we take it just the other way, right? Lifting, coming out to the side there. Didn't have my back foot positioned correctly. And then leg in line with your hip. It's not too high here, it's hip height. Inhale forward and exhale back. Point. Last one coming up, we do 8. Extend that leg away, point the foot, and extend the arm away. Really, really stretch. And then bend, reach back, and grab the foot, and hold that stretch there. Should feel good through the upper body too, the shoulder maybe. And then back into center, and back up into the center position. Good. Let's do a few shoulder rolls here. Keep squeezing. And then reversing those. And then the exercise is going to be swan. Okay, so from here, and then lay down on your stomach. Many times we talk about the four corners of our feet and finding them in a mat. I want you to do the same thing here with your hands. So by that, it's the four corners here, right? So we tend to press outward into the outside palms like we do the outside edges of our feet, but we always try to find as much of a connection to the floor, the mat, or even if it's apparatus or equipment Pilates work, as we possibly can. It's all information. So you're going to use that here too. So place your hands here, forehead is down. And again, if your back is tight, bring the legs apart just a bit, or you can keep them together. So from here, pressing down, spread fingers, inhale to come up into swan. My shoulders are coming back, sliding down those shoulder blades rather, sliding down the back, elbows towards the mat, and then lengthen back down. We're going to do 3 of these. Coming up again. And lower. And then when you come up this next time, let's round and push back into a child pose. Nice long arms. And then lift up, drop the head, round into the back, and lay back out nice and long into position for swan again. Reposition the hands, press into the four corners, slide those shoulder blades down, coming up. Round, 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 and sit back. And one more. Lengthening down. Sitting back this next time. And round. And when you get back there, stay back there, right? And you're going to bring your arms to your sides. Forehead is down, palms turned up, arms heavy. So very carefully, if you feel comfortable doing it, do it. If you don't, just stay in child pose here. You're going to lift the hips by engaging the abs to come on up onto the crown of your head ever so lightly, stretches the back of the neck a bit, and then sit back down. Think about your pelvic clock again. Pull the face of it inward towards your spine to lift up. And sit down. And last one. Arms are just really heavy. Get that nice opening in the upper back. Back down to the heels. And then bring your arms up. And let's walk them over to one side of your mat. Doesn't matter which one, but let's say it's the right, like I'm doing. And I'm really going to stretch and try to get my left arm as long as I can. And then I'm going to take the right arm and snake it through, palm turned up, and turn my head this way. And take a nice twist. Spinal rotation position, among many other things. Breathe. Last breath here. And then coming out of this and over the other way. Right arm comes through. And last breath here. And coming back out of this, and we're going to come up onto all fours. Okay, so I'm going to spin around a little bit this way. Okay, so the exercise is leg pull, and then we'll move from there. Hands are directly under your shoulders, and you're going to bring yourself into a plank position, right? Lift that right leg up, point the foot a lot. So again, you have the opportunity to really pull that leg out or send it out of the hip socket as you drop, lift, and come down. Other leg up, lower, lift, and down. As you do this, imagine that you are trying to push the top of your head into something, an imaginary wall at the other end of the mat here. So if I were to do that, I'm not really going to shift very much through the body. Last one here. It's hard to do. Up, lower, lift, and down. And then from here onto all fours. This next exercise is one that sometimes it's called fire hydrant. I'm going to turn just a bit so that you can kind of get maybe a better visual on it. Hands on the shoulders, all fours. And I'm going to lift this right leg out to the side. I'm going to flex this foot. As I lift, I'm going to inhale to lift it. I'm going to exhale to press long. Inhale to bend it back. And exhale, pull it back towards the other down leg. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Try to keep your opposite supporting arm straight. This will easily collapse here. Try to keep it straight and keep pulling in on your abdominals. Resist. 3 more. It's up to you how much resistance you put into this. And out. In and exhale. And we'll go to the other leg here. So lifting out to the side, flex, extend. Inhale, exhale. So not to drop your front. Instead, keep your core engaged. And we have one more coming up here. And good. Back on all fours. Cat-cow. This is a nice exercise. Knees under hips. Inhale. And exhale round. Breathe in. And out. A couple more. Get out of this what you put into it, I always say. So you just want to make it what I call really spinal. You know, you're really driving this exercise with your core, because whatever you choose to do with that translates into your back and spine. One more. And then back into a neutral position. So from here, coming back up into a plank, we'll do a series of push-ups, some variations, right? So let's just begin with 5. Inhale to bend the arms, exhale to straighten. If you feel you want to modify this, just hold plank in any way that works for you, or come to your knees and do a knees version of push-ups here. And then we've done those 5. You're going to lift a leg up, point the foot a lot, and do 5 more. Inhale, exhale. And other leg, up. Last one here. And both feet back down again. Let's hike the hips and walk in one step with each foot. And then we're going to go into what I call an arabesque position. So I'm going to lift that right leg out behind me, and I'm going to turn my whole body that way so that I am looking under my arm, and my right hip is open to the back of the room. Hold it for 5 breaths. And I'm still trying to lengthen this leg out from the hip, away from my armpit. Last breath. And then back. And we'll take it, obviously, the other direction. So it's an arabesque and a rotation and a look. You can keep this down, heel down, or lifted, whatever works. Last one. And come back around to center, and you're in a pike position. Come forward into plank. You can inhale into pike, exhale back out, or you can inhale here and exhale into pike, back out, exhale into pike, and then walk your feet in towards your hands, And here you are, bent forward here. I want you to stay in this position. Head and arms very heavy. Find those four corners of your feet anchored to the mat. And on this next breath, begin standing up. Start with inhale. Coming up, up, up. Stacking the spine up. Right? And when you get up into your position, again, a few more shoulder rolls here. Go the other way. One more big breath. Big inhale. And then bring the palms of your hands together here. Exhale, press gently. Pull everything into your center. You're nice and strong and stretched out, I hope. And I hope this is enough work to get you through your day. A good prep for you. Use it as much as you need to. Remember, you can revisit any of our videos at any time. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.